Oh, there you are, little one. Come in. The fire crackles. The storm rumbles outside. And in the grim darkness of the far future, there is always time for a story. And here I am. Your grandpa Grimdarius has already turned the first page. Now, little one, before we begin our tale, you must understand something. The Skaven are many countless swarms scurrying beneath the world, scheming, fighting, gnawing at the edges of civilization. But among them, there are 4 who stand above the rest, 4 great clans, each a pillar of power within the Under Empire, each with its own wicked craft. Clan Pestilence, the devoted harbingers of disease, where filth is sacred and plague is the purest form of power. Clan Eshin, the silent assassins, striking from the darkness, ensuring no enemy, even among their own kin, ever sleeps soundly. Clan Moulder, twisted flesh crafters, the makers of living nightmares, shaping muscle and bone as a blacksmith shapes steel. And then there is Clan Skryre, the deranged Warlock Engineers, whose madness fuels the fires of industry, whose genius bends both magic and metal to their will. They do not wield swords or daggers, nor do they summon plagues or monsters. No. Their weapons belch lightning, their engines roar with unstable fury, their constructs march forward with mechanical purpose. These 4 clans hold the fate of the Under Empire in their claws. Their power shapes war, corruption, and death. And now, little one, we speak of one of them, the ones who turn madness into machinery, the ones who harness the raw fury of the warp itself. Listen well, for our tale begins in the deepest forges of the Under Empire, where the engines of Clan Skryre never stop churning. Little one, I will tell you of a clan unlike any other. A clan that does not rely on sharpened fangs or grotesque muscle, but on the spark of genius and the fury of madness. Listen well, for this story is not just about war and destruction, but about stolen knowledge, forbidden experiments, and machines that should never have been built. This, little one, is the story of Clan Skryre. Among the many clans that infest the Under Empire, Skryre stands apart. They do not merely hurl hordes of warriors into dark tunnels, nor do they simply breed packs of ravenous beasts. No, they go beyond. To them, war is not just slaughter. It is an art made of smoke and green lightning, of grinding gears and arcane runes that glow in the shadows. They say that in Skavenblight, the capital of the Skaven Empire, the skies are always dark, wrapped in a perpetual miasma of toxic fumes. The spires of their factories pierce the vault of the world, towers of metal and stone that tremble beneath the weight of ever-madder discoveries. The Warlock Engineers, the true masters of this clan, spend their days immersed in experiments that defy all logic, all laws of nature, and often even their own survival. Oh yes, because in Clan Skryre, progress comes at a price. Every invention may be the weapon that crushes their enemies, or the trap that devours its own creator. The green flames of their forges burn ceaselessly, fueled by warpstone, the mutagenic crystal that corrupts and transforms. And every day, amid explosions and the screams of Skaven reduced to ash, new machines are built. Machines of destruction, of death, of power. But do not be fooled, little one. Clan Skryre does not build only for itself. Oh, no, no, no. They sell, they trade, they bargain with anyone who can afford the price of their madness. Sometimes the payment is in warp tokens, sometimes in slaves, and other times in secrets. For nothing is more valuable than stolen knowledge. And so their instruments end up in the hands of other Skaven, of warlords too impatient to win by their own strength. But, oh little one, no Warlock Engineer would ever give another the best of his creations. No, no, no. Every weapon has a hidden flaw, every mechanism a weak point, and when the right moment comes, a single touch, a whisper in the dark, and the machine turns against its own master. And so Clan Skryre prospers, balancing science and betrayal. Their knowledge is their strength, their ambition is their poison. No other clan can rival them in the field of technology. No one dares challenge them in the arts of metal and magic. And yet, little one, every invention that is born in their hands carries a shadow. For Skryre's science knows no limits, knows no caution. And who knows? Who knows what creation, what machine, what abomination is already taking shape in their secret laboratories, ready to be unleashed upon the world and erase it in a single flash of green lightning. But this is just the introduction, little one. The true story begins now. Listen well, for in the coming tales I shall reveal the deepest secrets of Clan Skryre, their history, their experiments, their creations, and their monsters. Yes, because amid the fumes of their forges and the circuits of their machines, something darker lurks than you could ever imagine. Ah, little one, if you think that Clan Skryre was born out of nothing, emerging from the green flames of their forges, you are mistaken. Every clan has an origin, every power has a beginning. And Skryre's was not written with iron, but with ambition. Long, long ago, when the Skaven still writhed in the shadows, scurrying through the underworld like rats with no direction, there were those who knew that brute strength was not enough. They were not assassins like Clan Eshin, nor butchers like Clan Moulder. No, they were different. They were more cunning, more dangerous. They believed that true power did not lie in muscle, but in knowledge. And so, while the others dug tunnels and tore each other apart, they built something new. Something that no one else would have dared to conceive. It was warpstone, their greatest treasure. That cursed crystal, that gift of chaos, pulsed with raw energy, with uncontrollable power. And Clan Skryre? Ah, they did not fear it. No, no. They studied it, experimented with it, bent it to their will. They fused it with metal, with flesh, with the air itself. They created things that should never have existed. It was then that they began to dominate Skavenblight. Their machines spewed flames and green lightning, while their Warlock Engineers honed their knowledge, becoming something more than mere Skaven. Oh yes, little one, the Warlock Engineers are not just inventors. They are sorcerers. They are madmen. They are prophets of a future where science rules over all. But power never goes unnoticed. No, no. The Grey Seers, the chosen of the horned rat, saw them as heresy. To them, Power lay in prayers, in dark rituals, not in machines. They tried to stop them, to eradicate their knowledge before it grew too great. And they failed, because their magic was strong, but not strong enough to halt the march of progress. And then there was clan pestilence. Ah, those rotting rats, those fanatics of disease. To them, the world had to rot, decay in the stench of corruption. And Skryre? No, they wanted to rule it, not destroy it. Thus, the war between them never ended. Even today, in the caverns of the underworld, amid the toxic vapors of the forges and the vicious mists of pestilence, an invisible battle rages, one of sabotage and betrayal. And so, little one, Clan Skryre became what it is today. The master of technology, the lord of science and sorcery fused together. But it is not over yet, oh no, because their journey is not toward glory, but toward chaos. And who knows what their next creation will be, or their final mistake. Clan Skryre. If you ever find yourself within its laboratories, little one, do not breathe in. The air is thick with toxic fumes, with green vapors hissing from metal tubes twisted like viscera. The floors are covered in warpstone dust that glows in the darkness and corrodes flesh with a mere touch. And the sounds, the sounds. The constant hum of unstable generators, the crackling of raw energy, the clang of metal on metal, and amid it all, laughter, shrill, mad laughter, accompanied by the acrid stench of burnt fur. Flesh and steel. This is the heart of Clan Skryre, flesh and steel. Where other Skaven see flesh as a mere tool, Skryre's technomancers see it as a limitation. Muscle tears, bone breaks, the mind succumbs to fear, but metal does not bend. Metal does not tire. Metal does not need food nor sleep. And so, in halls filled with gears and runes etched by fangs and claws, the Warlock Engineers experiment without end. Not like Clan Moulder. Oh, no. They are primitive. They play with flesh and bone, twisting and breaking them, but in the end, they are still just beasts. Horrific, yes, effective, certainly, but still alive. And life is weakness. Clan Skryre does not settle for creatures that bleed and die. They fuse, enhance, improve. Take a storm fiend, for example. Moulder has their big, dumb rat ogres, blind beasts of rage and pain. But what happens when you take that mass of muscle and make it useful? When you bind its flesh to a machine? When you graft a warped lightning source directly into its bones? Then you have something wonderful. A monster that needs no packmasters, a living weapon that does not need to be fed, an abomination that does not hesitate, does not rebel, it only kills. But not all experiments succeed, little one. Oh no, not all. There are things in the Skryre laboratories that should never see the light of day. Creatures that never stop writhing, even when they should be dead. Machines that move on their own, with no gears, no guidance. And then there are the things that make no sound. Those are the worst. The ones that one day are simple experiments and the next day are gone. Progress has a price, and Clan Skryre is willing to pay it, but not with their own blood. Oh, no. That is paid by slaves, apprentices, test subjects, those who were not clever enough or fast enough. Sacrifice is necessary for greatness, and no one ever said the path to power was without risk. And yet, little one, amid all this chaos, amid all this madness, there is order. An order dictated by a sacred law of Clan Skryre. Trade. Ah, the black market of Skryre weaponry. This is where the true genius of the clan lies. They do not just create weapons. They sell them to anyone willing to pay. The warlords want rattling guns. Skryre provides them. An army needs a warp lightning cannon. Here it is, ready to fire. Even the gray seers who despise Skryre technology find themselves tempted by their infernal contraptions. But there is always a trick. Because every Skryre weapon, every invention, every machine has a flaw, a tiny accidental defect, a planned malfunction, a hidden detonator, a surge of warp lightning that at the right moment could turn against its own wielder. Not because Clan Skryre is incompetent, no, but because no one must ever become too powerful. Ah, little one, never trust a Warlock Engineer, never. Because while he sells you his latest marvel of science and sorcery, while he reassures you with shrill compliments, he is already planning the day he will make you explode with the very weapon you just purchased. And remember, if you ever see a Skryre weapon and think it is too perfect, too reliable, too safe, then it means the failure is about to strike. And when it strikes, it will already be too late. Ah, little one, listen well. When we speak of the Council of 13, we speak of the highest seat of power in the Under Empire, a nest of vipers, a pit of traitors, an arena where poison flows more freely than blood. 12 seats for 12 masters, and one left empty, always reserved for the horned rat, whom all serve and fear. And among these 12, one belongs to Morsketar. Ah, Warlock Lord Morsketar, the supreme master of Clan Skryre. Once, he was just another mad engineer among many, but now he is something more. More machine than Skaven, his body fused with metal, his blood mixed with oil and warp lightning. No one knows how much of him is still alive, how much has been replaced by gears and pulsing runes, and no one dares to find out. Because as long as he remains, Skryre commands. You see, little one, Clan Skryre does not need assassins or poison to play the game of power. No, they have weapons. They have the Warpfire-Thrower. Ah, the Warpfire-Thrower. Imagine tunnels stretching for miles beneath the old world, iron and warpstone rails on which wagons race by, loaded with soldiers, weapons, slaves, or explosives. Anyone who wants to move an army through the underworld must pay Skryre. And if someone refuses, then something unpleasant happens. The rails collapse, the wagons derail, and entire armies vanish into the bowels of the earth. Malfunctions, say the Skryre, with a sneering grin. Of course. And then there are the Farsqueakers, Skryre's wonders of communication. The gray seers pray and whisper to the horned rat. But when a warlord needs a message sent fast, who delivers it? Skryre. With their devices, they can send orders, threats, deceptions, all in an instant. And who controls this technology? Who decides which messages arrive, which are lost, and which are altered? Always Skryre. This is why the gray seers hate them. Ah, those white-robed rats, always muttering about faith, prophecies, visions of the horned rat. But they cannot control Skryre. They can hiss all the venom they want, but when the Council needs new weapons, new devices, who do they turn to? Not the Seers, no. And the Grey Seers know this, and they tremble. But you see, little one, the true genius of Clan Skryre is not in their power. It is in their double game. They sell to everyone. If a warlord wants a warp lightning cannon, Skryre provides it. If his rival wants a Doomwheel to crush him, Skryre sells it. If another wants a rattling gun to stop them both, guess what? Skryre is always ready to negotiate. But here is the best part. As we already said in the previous chapter, we know these Skryre all too well by now. Their weapons are never perfect. No, little one. Every machine, every device has a flaw, a small accidental defect, a tiny inconvenience hidden in the metal, a fatal malfunction waiting to activate at the worst possible moment. And when that moment arrives, well, let's just say the Warlock Engineers already have a solution ready. A solution that costs twice as much. And if it fails, well, there's always another upgrade. This is the power of Clan Skryre, little one. They do not need armies. They are the army. They do not need to conquer territories. They can destroy them with a single order. They do not need to fight wars. They decide who wins and who dies. And so, while the Council of 13 quarrels, plots, and poisons one another, Morskitar watches and waits. Because as long as wars rage, as long as blood flows through the tunnels of the Under-Empire, as long as warlords fight for dominance, Skryre will keep selling, and as long as they sell, no one will ever stop them. Little one, now I will tell you about the true madness of Clan Skryre, of green flames that dance without fuel, of thunder that splits the air without clouds, of blinding flashes of warp lightning that illuminate the deepest darkness. Because Skryre does not believe in the distinction between science and magic. To them, it is one and the same. You see, among the Skaven, there are the Warlock Engineers, creatures of pure ambition and lethal recklessness, half sorcerers, half scientists, and entirely insane. The Grey Seers call them heretics, abominations, traitors to the will of the Horned Rat. But what can they do against them? Nothing. Because the Warlock Engineers control the future. Their bodies are covered in pulsating tubes and cables. Their limbs are often no longer flesh, but metallic mechanisms fused with molten warpstone. Some have a single eye that never blinks, a mechanical eye that sees beyond the visible, while their fingers are steel claws that pulse with energy. They are no longer Skaven, no longer machines. They are both. And with their twisted genius, they have discovered how to tame warp lightning. Ah, little one, have you ever seen a warp lightning storm? It is a bolt of lightning, but green, unnatural, alive. It follows no physical laws, obeys no natural rule. It burns, tears, dissolves flesh and metal alike. And that is what makes it perfect. The Warlock Engineers have chained it, have turned it into a weapon. They built the Warp Lightning Cannon, a machine capable of launching a lance of pure energy, annihilating an entire formation of enemies in an instant. But there is always a problem, little one. Perfection does not exist among the Skaven. Sometimes the cannon overheats too much. Sometimes the shot veers toward their own allies instead of their enemies. And sometimes, it melts into the very Skaven who operate it, leaving behind only a pile of scorched flesh and molten metal. But that does not matter. What matters is that it works long enough to kill more enemies than allies. And that is not all. The Warlock Engineers have created inventions that have shaped the Under Empire itself. Do you remember when we spoke of the Farsqueaker? Ah, this is the true secret of Clan Skryre. The Grey Seers communicate with whispers and visions, but Skryre, they speak directly. With a Farsqueaker, a Warlock Engineer can send messages across miles and miles in real time. A warlord can give orders without needing messengers, without risking his instructions being intercepted. But who controls the Farsqueakers? That's right, little one. Skryre builds them, Skryre maintains them. Skryre decides what messages arrive, which are lost, and which are altered. And then there is the Warprail. Ah, the Warprail. Clan Skryre's greatest marvel. Underground tunnels spanning across the world like pulsing veins, rails forged from metal and warpstone, wagons racing through the darkness, transporting soldiers, supplies, or explosives. Want to move an army through the Under Empire? You must pay Skryre. Want to transport weapons, food, slaves? You must pay Skryre. And if you don't pay, little one, isn't it unfortunate when the rails suddenly collapse? The Warprail is the true network of the Skaven Under Empire. It is the beating heart that connects the tunnels beneath the surface. And who holds the switch? Always them. Always Skryre. Because Skryre does not conquer by force. No. Skryre conquers by control. They control the weapons. They control communication. They control transportation. And when you control all of this, you don't need an army to rule. You only need to know when to cut the power. And the day they do, little one, will be a day of war. A war where only Skryre holds the button that turns out the lights. Ah, little one, Skaven wars are not like those of men. There are no orderly formations, no disciplined armies, no heroes leading with honor. No. Among the Skaven, battle is fought with chaos, deception, and, above all, fear. And when Clan Skryre marches to war, they do not rely on mere soldiers. Oh, no. Their forces do not rely on brute strength like the orcs, nor on discipline like the men. They rely on science, or rather, the madness they call science. Have you ever smelled the poisoned wind, little one? No? Then you are lucky, because it is a scent you would never forget. A dense green mist creeping like a serpent through enemy ranks. It does not burn like fire, nor tear like a blade. No, it is worse. The Globadiers know this well. They carry death in their clawed hands. Poisoned wind is one of Clan Skryre's greatest triumphs. A toxic fog that corrodes the lungs from within, that turns breath into fire, that bloats flesh until it bursts into blackened blisters. A single breath, and your body writhes in one final desperate spasm. And who brings it into battle? The poisoned wind Globadiers. You can recognize them immediately. Heavy cloaks, iron masks, filters and tubes pumping clean air to keep them alive. They look like monsters. And, in a way, they are. Each Globadier holds a glass sphere, filled to the brim with something that should not exist. One throw, one shatter. And then only green, only death. But you see, little one, Skryre is never satisfied. No, they always want more. And so they created the Death Globe Bombardiers. If globadiers are dangerous, these are suicidal with a target. Their spheres do not just contain poisoned wind, they contain pure warpstone. Once shattered, they do not leave even a corpse to bury, just a crater and a stench that never fades. And then, little one, there are them, the Warlock Engineers of Clan Skryre. Have you ever seen a Warlock Engineer up close? No? Better for you. They barely look like Skaven anymore. Their bodies are covered in metal, with tubes spraying green energy from their backs, mechanical claws twisting and clenching as if they had a mind of their own. Some have an eye fused into their skulls, an eye that never closes, glowing like a dying star. And their weapons, little one, their weapons. Some carry warp-lock pistols, firing warpstone-infused bullets, able to pierce an Imperial Knight's armor as if it were parchment. Others wield lightning blades, swords crackling with energy, capable of burning flesh before even cutting it. And then there are those who carry weapons that should not exist. Have you ever seen a warp lightning capacitor? A tiny generator of pure madness, a cylinder that stores more energy than the world can contain. When activated, the air fills with crackling green sparks, and then the storm comes. One flash, one thunderclap, and then silence, only charred bodies and green smoke dancing in the air. But there is one thing to remember, little one. Skryre's weapons are never reliable. Oh, no. They can explode at any moment. And when they explode, little one, they do not just kill the enemy. They burn everything. Allies, enemies, everyone. But do you know the best part? The Warlock Engineers do not care. To them, a failed experiment is just a successful experiment with unexpected results. So, little one, Clan Skryre does not fight like the other Skaven. They do not send disorganized hordes to be slaughtered. No, they use technology. While other Skaven throw themselves into desperate charges, Skryre stays behind. Their Warlock Engineers, their globadiers, their war machines are always far from the battle. They let others die first, and when the enemy is distracted, when they think they have won, that is when Skryre strikes. A blast of warp lightning, a wave of poisoned wind, a storm of rattling gunfire, those terrible rotary cannons that fire more bullets than the eye can count. Skryre does not win through strength. Skryre wins through terror. Skryre, like every other clan, has its own clan rats. Pathetic soldiers, weak, filthy, but they do not fight to win. They fight to distract. They are sent forward in waves to die like rats in a trap. Because while the enemy is busy slaughtering them, Skryre is preparing its weapons. And then there are the storm vermin, the strongest, the fastest, the smartest Skaven. Black armor, razor-sharp halberds, eyes full of hatred. They are Clan Skryre's elite. They are not just warriors. They are bodyguards. They protect the engineers, the weapons, the war machines. They make sure Skryre always has time to prepare the killing blow. And when the battle is over, when everything is burned, poisoned, and devastated, Skryre is always there to collect the remains, to sell new weapons, to prepare for the next war. Because, little one, remember well, Clan Skryre does not win battles. Clan Skryre wins wars before they even begin. Ah, little one, if there is one thing Clan Skryre loves more than gold, more than warpstone, even more than betrayal, it is weapons. Not ordinary weapons, no, but weapons that no one else would dare create. Weapons that ignore logic, reject safety, and laugh in the face of morality. Because who needs stability when they can have absolute chaos? Today, I will tell you of Clan Skryre's deadliest creations. Machines of destruction, instruments of madness, wonders of engineering that are as ingenious as they are dangerous. They do not always work, but when they do, little one, when they do, the world trembles. Have you ever seen fire, little one? Have you ever felt its heat embrace your skin, its glow dance in your eyes, its hunger consume everything without mercy? Now, imagine a fire that never goes out, a fire hotter than any natural flame, a fire not of this world. This is the Warpfire-Thrower. Two Skaven carry this infernal device. One grips the barrel, aiming it at the unfortunate souls ahead. The other bears a heavy tank strapped to their back, filled with strange substances, liquefied warpstones swirling with unstable gases, building up terrifying pressure. A single pull of the lever, and everything before them turns to ash. The green fire clings to flesh, seeps through armor, floods the lungs. It does not go out with water. It does not go out with sand. It only goes out when it has consumed everything. But little one, there is one problem. These weapons are not perfect. Oh, no. The Warpfire-Thrower is just as dangerous to those who wield it. Sometimes it overheats too quickly. Sometimes the tank explodes, incinerating everything nearby. But do the Skaven worry? No. Because if a flame burns more enemies than allies, then it is a success. And so, the Warpfire-Throwers continue to spread death and madness across the battlefield. Now, have you ever heard thunder instead, little one? Have you ever felt that deep rumble that shakes the ground? That sound that arrives before the storm? The rattling gun is like thunder, but it never stops. A miniature warp-powered Gatling gun, a whirling beast of metal, spitting lead and warpstone without mercy. Always two unfortunate Skaven carry it. One aims the barrel, pointing it toward the incoming horde. The other turns a crank, spinning the barrels and unleashing a storm of bullets. And every rotation is an explosion of death. The sound? A never-ending roar. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Oh, what do you think of my imitation? Ha! A wall of green glowing bullets tears through flesh, punches through armor, reduces entire formations into piles of twitching bodies. And the best part? It does not even need to aim. Just point in the right direction, and let chaos do the rest. But little one, never forget, the rattling gun is just as dangerous to those who wield it. The barrels may overheat, or the bullets may jam, causing the entire weapon to explode. Yet, as long as the enemy falls first, the rattling gun has done its job. Do you remember the Globadiers, little one? Those Skaven cloaked in masks and filters, hurling orbs of poison at their foes? Well, Skryre decided they were not deadly enough. And so, they created the Poisoned Wind Mortar. A Skaven crew kneels behind a massive iron barrel, load a globe full of poisoned wind, take aim, and fire. The projectile does not fly like a normal shot. No, no. It floats through the air, falls silently, and then, pah! A green cloud erupts, covering everything. Those unlucky enough to be caught inside have no escape. The toxin invades the lungs, the blood, the brain. In seconds, flesh dissolves, lungs collapse, and all that remains is silence. The problem is that the wind does not obey the Skaven for now. Sometimes a sudden gust blows the cloud back, or the globe explodes while being loaded, and sometimes death strikes those who least expect it. But oh, as long as the war rages on, as long as the poison spreads, everything is a success. And now, little one, behold one of the most terrifying weapons of all, the warp lightning cannon. This is not like a dwarf-crafted cannon, or one from the imperial gunnery of Nuln. No, no. It does not fire iron balls. It does not shoot bullets. It fires pure energy. A massive war engine, covered in hissing tubes, groaning gears, and warpstone pulsating like a dying star. When it charges, the air itself trembles. When it fires, the sky splits apart. A green, unnatural lightning bolt tears through its target with fury beyond reason. Armor melts like wax. Walls crumble to dust. Bodies vanish into blackened shadows. But little one, do not forget, it's still Skryre technology. The warp lightning cannon can fire too soon, overheat and implode, or strike its own builders. But this is the beauty of this clan. Who cares about safety? The only thing that matters is that the weapon works at least once. And if everything burns, little one, all the better. So, little one, you have heard the thunder of the warp lightning cannon. You have seen the poison dance in the wind, but now it is time to speak of the two greatest creations of Clan Skryre. Because while the other weapons are tools of destruction, tools to sell, tools to test on enemies, and sometimes on allies, these are something more. They are the pinnacle of Skryre engineering. They are proof that Warlock Engineers never stop at logic, safety, or morality. And they are the ultimate testament that there is nothing that cannot be powered by warpstone and a healthy dose of madness. The first, little one, is the Doomwheel. The Doomwheel, a machine no one else would have ever dared to build. Imagine a gigantic wheel of iron and wood, reinforced with metal plates and spikes, so massive that two Skaven can run inside it, like hamsters in a hellish cage, except these hamsters aren't running for fun. No, no, no. They are powering it. They run and run, spinning rusty gears and unstable generators, charging a warpstone engine that is just waiting to unleash its fury. And when the Doomwheel picks up speed, little one, nothing can stop it. It hurls itself into battle like a crazed projectile, crushing everything in its path. Soldiers, flattened beneath the spiked wheels, walls, shattered like they were made of sand. Others Skaven? Well, that's the price of progress. But it's not just a battering machine, no, because as it rolls, rumbles, and screeches, it fires bursts of warp lightning from conductors mounted on its sides, striking everything in its way with a rain of burning green lightning. The Doomwheel is speed, chaos, pure destruction. Oh, it is also uncontrollable, and its pilots often find themselves electrocuted by their own generators. Perhaps its brakes fail, sending it plunging straight into an abyss, or the warpstone energy becomes too unstable and, well, imagine a green sun exploding in the middle of a battle. A marvel, don't you think? But if the Doomwheel is the most insane machine, the Storm Fiends are terror made of flesh and metal. Ah, little one, this is not just about weapons. This is about a nightmare. The Skryre and Moulder clans, the two most ambitious and ruthless Skaven factions, joined forces to create something truly monstrous. A rat ogre was not enough, they thought. A rat ogre is strong, yes, but it's just brute muscle and blind rage. What if we gave it a smarter brain? What if we linked it to another Skaven, one who could think, could make decisions? And thus, the Storm Fiends were born. Mutant colossi, larger and more powerful than any other creature created by the Moulder clan, but with an added twist: Skryre technology. Their bodies are not just flesh and bone, but a horrific fusion of mechanical limbs and warpstone circuits. Some have rattling guns mounted directly on their arms, with ammo drums embedded in their backs, ready to unload in an instant in a devastating barrage. Others wield Warpfire-Throwers, spewing green flames straight from their hands, incinerating everything in a single motion. Some, little one, have electrified blades, crackling with warp lightning, slicing through enemies with every strike, leaving only scorched flesh and ash in their wake. They are not just weapons. They are not soldiers. Storm Fiends are living weapons, built to annihilate, modified to surpass any opponent. And what happens if one day the beast breaks free from its master and realizes what has been done to it? Ah, little one, that day will not just be a problem for Skryre's enemies. It will be a problem for the entire Skaven Underempire. This is the true arsenal of the Skryre clan. Weapons brilliant and unstable, deadly and unpredictable. Creations that could decide a battle in moments or wipe out their own army without warning. But for the Warlock Engineers, none of this matters. For them, every explosion, every lightning burst, every fusion of flesh and machinery is just one more step toward the future. A future where technology has no limits. A future where science will surpass even magic. A future where Skryre will rule all. Or at least, until one of their own inventions consumes them all. Ah, little one, if you thought that Clan Skryre was just a rabble of Warlock Engineers blowing themselves up in their experiments, you were mistaken. Every great machine needs a core. Every infernal contraption needs someone to steer it. And while other Skaven clans bow to their warlords, their grey seers, or their pestilent overlords, in Clan Skryre, power lies in the hands of those who understand how things work. Not warriors, not assassins, not mystics, but geniuses and madmen, capable of turning an idea into a weapon, a dream into a device of death. And who commands it all, little one? The Warlock Masters. Warlock Masters are not just Skaven with more knowledge and experience. No, no, no. They are more machine than rat. They have spent so long in contact with warpstone, breathing the toxic fumes of their forges, enduring the electric jolts of their own inventions, that their bodies are no longer natural. Metal limbs, copper and brass tubes pulsing with green energy, eyes encrusted with circuits that glow in the dark. The deeper they delve into the science of Skryre, the less they remain Skaven. But do not think this makes them any less dangerous. Oh no, little one, for the Warlock Masters are the true rulers of Clan Skryre. They decide what will be created, what will be sold, who will live, and who will explode in the name of progress. They order the construction of new weapons, oversee the most perilous experiments, and strike deals with other clans, always with a backup plan to betray them at the perfect moment. And when power must be demonstrated, they do not merely give orders. They take to the battlefield themselves. Ah, little one, if only you could see them in battle. They are not mere strategists, not leaders who hide while others fight. No, no. Warlock Masters are living weapons. Their very bodies are walking arsenals. Some wield enormous copper gauntlets that unleash green lightning, reducing enemies to smoldering ash. Others brandish iron staffs infused with warpstone, releasing shock waves that send entire ranks of warriors flying. Some, the most insane of all, have replaced parts of their own bodies with deadly mechanisms, serrated claws vibrating with chaotic energy, bionic eyes that detect a foe's weak point with unnatural precision, even warp generators implanted within their chests, allowing them to overload their own veins with raw power, turning into living storms of uncontrollable energy. And yet, for all their power, they do not rule alone. Beneath them, like a swarm of frenzied rats ready to betray one another at the first misstep, are the Warlock Engineers. Ah, little one, these are the heart of Clan Skryre. Without them, there would be no new inventions, no new explosions, no terror behind every Skryre machine. Each Warlock Engineer is a specialist in something. Some focus on long-range weaponry, others on rapid-fire guns, others still on the grotesque fusion of flesh and technology. There are those who study the flow of warp lightning, trying to harness it in ever more unstable weapons, and those who spend their days modifying their own bones and muscles, replacing them with tubes, plates, and contraptions. They are the ones who oversee the storm fiends, the ones who experiment with new warpstone munitions, the ones who decide which of their creations is stable enough to be sold to other clans, and which is better tested in battle without informing the unfortunate soldiers wielding them. But little one, if there is one thing you must know about Clan Skryre, it is that no one trusts anyone. The Warlock Masters rule, yes, but they do so with their eyes always open. Every Warlock Engineer dreams of climbing the hierarchy, of taking their master's place, and the only way to do so is to prove they are better. And how does one prove superiority in Clan Skryre? By creating something new, by crafting something deadlier, by inventing something so groundbreaking that it makes their master's achievements obsolete. And so, every day in the underground forges of Clan Skryre, every day in the secret laboratories beneath Skavenblight, new Warlock Engineers set to work. They design, experiment, modify, and often die in the attempt. For if an experiment fails, if a weapon explodes before it is even completed, if a device rebels and kills its own creator, no one mourns the loss. The Warlock Masters merely shrug, retrieve the leftover schematics, and hand them to the next Warlock Engineer who dares to step forward. Because progress never stops, little one. Never. And one day, who knows? Perhaps the most ambitious Warlock Master of all will build something that no one can stop. Perhaps Clan Skryre will no longer need to sell weapons, only to use them, Perhaps, little one, one day they will rule the Council of 13. Or perhaps they will be wiped out by one of their own creations in a single glorious explosion. But that, little one, is a tale for another night. Ah, little one, every great clan has its heroes, or rather, in the case of the Skaven, its madmen, its geniuses, its living nightmares. Clan Skryre is no different. Here, in the domain of heretical science, unstable technology, and impure magic, only the boldest, or the most reckless, leave their mark on history. Some have created wonders, others have nearly annihilated the world, and all, without exception, have pushed Clan Skryre's madness one step further. And who better than Ikit Claw, the greatest warlock engineer the Skaven have ever known? Ah, little one, if there is one name that makes the armies of men tremble, it is his. Ikit Claw is not just an inventor. He is the inventor. He is the one who took the science of Clan Skryre and elevated it to a level of terror never seen before. Where other warlock engineers experimented with caution, as much as such a concept can exist among the Skaven, Ikit Claw laughed at danger, tested his creations on entire legions, and fused magic and technology with an unmatched mastery. And look at him now. His body, more machine than flesh, is a masterpiece of Skryre engineering. A reinforced exoskeleton encases him. His claws crackle with warp energy. His mechanical eyes perceive far beyond what any normal Skaven could comprehend. He is no mere rat. He is a living storm, an unstoppable bolt of lightning. And when he marches into battle, he brings an arsenal that makes even the oldest warlock masters pale. Green lightning that tears open the sky, warp-driven machine guns that spit death, mechanical drones that hiss in the dark. Nothing is ever enough for Ikit Claw. Nothing is too grand, nothing is too dangerous. And, little one, he knows it. He knows that one day he will take control of Clan Skryre. He knows that one day he could take control of the entire Council of 13. But for now, he waits, he watches, he creates, and the world trembles at the thought of what he will build next. But little one, not even a genius like Ikit can rule alone. No, no. Above him sits Lord Warlock Morskitar, the true ruler of Clan Skryre, or at least what remains of him. Because Morskitar, more than any other, has taken Skryre's philosophy to its extreme. More machine, less flesh. No one knows exactly how much of him is still biological, and how much is just a mass of gears and warpstone-infused tubes. Some say he has replaced his organs with generators, that his very brain is directly linked to the circuits of his exoskeleton, that he no longer sleeps, no longer eats, no longer breathes as a normal Skaven would. Perhaps he is not even a Skaven anymore, but that does not matter, because Morskitar does not need a body. He has control. He controls Skavenblight. He controls the production of weapons. He controls the Warlock Engineers. It is he who decides what will be built, who will be sacrificed, which inventions will see the light of day, and which will be destroyed before they become a threat. And when Morskitar speaks, even the gray seers fall silent. But little one, not all of Clan Skryre's geniuses are obsessed with power. Some just want to watch the world burn. Ah, every Skaven dreams of dominion, power, and glory. But Malis Manrak, He wanted so much more. Conquering a kingdom wasn't enough. Making the enemies of the Skaven tremble wasn't enough. No. He wanted to destroy a piece of the sky. Mor's Lieb, the Chaos Moon, that green sphere looming over the world like a malevolent eye, pulsing with unpredictable energy, spreading madness to those who stare at it for too long, a symbol of power and destruction, a mystery that had long obsessed the Skaven scholars, and Manrak was convinced it was a threat. Too unpredictable, too powerful, too chaotic, even for the Skaven. So, Little One, he proposed the craziest plan the Council of 13 had ever heard. Shoot the moon and wipe it from the sky. And you know what? They approved it. The Skaven, always eager to bet on total chaos. Maybe they were curious to see if he would succeed. Maybe some hoped to harvest the warpstone shards after the explosion, or maybe they already knew it would end in disaster and just wanted to enjoy the spectacle. The council gave Manrak an army, entire legions of slaves, and granted him Karak Skig, an ancient ruined dwarven fortress, a perfect place to build his monstrosity. And what a machine it was, Little One! The Moonbreaker Cannon. A colossus of metal and twisted runes powered by the most advanced Skryre technology. A cannon so massive it could fire beyond the sky, so powerful it could launch a shot directly into space. An impossible project for anyone, except the Skaven. But, Little One, not everyone was thrilled about this madness. The Grey Seers. Their hatred for Clan Skryre knew no bounds. And this time, they had a good reason to oppose it. Grey Seer Kritislik despised Morskatar and all his tinker rats. To him, Clan Skryre was already too powerful, and if their plan actually worked, who would be able to stop them then? And so, Little One, even though he voted in favor of the project, he did so only out of spite, to humiliate Morskatar and his engineers. He knew it would end in disaster. He hoped it would. But it wasn't just Kritislik who opposed it. There was another Skaven who hated this plan for a much deeper reason. Skryre, the messenger of the council, was disgusted by it. To him, Morsleib was sacred, a blessing from the horned rat. Destroying it wouldn't just mean losing a source of power. It would mean committing blasphemy. But Skryre was clever, Little One. He knew that openly opposing the plan would be suicide. So he did what Skaven do best. He conspired. Secretly, he allied with anyone willing to sabotage the Moonbreaker Cannon, anyone who feared what Manrak was about to unleash. But Manrak? He was too obsessed to see the danger coming. He worked day and night, forced his engineers to perfect the cannon, squeezed his slaves to death just to speed up the project. Everything had to be perfect, because Skryre science never fails, right? And so, the day of the grand test arrived. Warp energy surged through the coils, metal trembled under the pressure, Warlock Engineers shouted at each other as the entire mountain shook. And then, the shot was fired. Oh, Little One, what a sight it was! The sky split apart. Morsleib trembled. A green flash illuminated the entire world. And then, the shot was fired. Oh, Little One, what a sight it was! The sky split apart. Morsleib trembled. A green flash illuminated the entire world. For a moment, just a moment, it seemed that Manrak had done it. But then, something went wrong. Skryre science is unstable, always. The Moonbreaker Cannon Overloaded, the warp energy spiraled out of control. The shot never reached the moon. Instead, it backfired. A warp lightning explosion engulfed the entire Karak Skig, vaporizing slaves, engineers, and machinery alike. And Manrak? He vanished. No one knows what happened to him. Perhaps he was reduced to ash in an instant. Perhaps he was sucked into another dimension. Or perhaps, little one, something even worse. Some Skaven swear they have seen him in the warpstone storms. A glow among the green lightning, a twisted figure screaming within the sparks, desperately trying to return to finish his work. And if you listen carefully, little one, on the darkest nights, when Morrisleb shines its brightest, you might still hear his whisper in the wind, because Manrak wasn't just a mad rat. He was a Skaven, and Skaven never stopped trying to destroy the world. But not all Skaven of Clan Skryre had such grand ambitions. Some, like Rikit, were simply geniuses in the service of war. Rikit didn't want to change the world. He wanted to conquer it. He was the one who designed the machines that allowed Lord Blestrox to invade Ixtlan-Huapec, the City of Mists, the most mysterious of the Lizardmen temple cities. Rikit devised devices capable of cutting through the mystical defenses of the Lizardmen, built instruments that allowed the Skaven to navigate through magical fogs, and turned Skryre technology into a weapon against the world's oldest civilization. And, little one, for a moment, it seemed like he could win. But Skryre science is powerful and unpredictable. Something went wrong. A short circuit, an explosion, a miscalculation, and the invasion failed. Such is the fate of the Skaven of Clan Skryre. They invent, they create, they push the limits of the possible. And then, in most cases, they die by their own creations. But little one, isn't that the price of progress? Isn't that the price of greatness? And the Skaven, they will never stop paying it. Ah, little one, the future of Clan Skryre is unwritten, but I can promise you one thing, it will be explosive. You see, the Skaven are not patient creatures. They don't know how to stop. They don't know how to be satisfied. And Clan Skryre? Oh, they are the worst of all. They have no limits, no ultimate goal. Only an endless race toward the next weapon. Bigger, deadlier, more unstable. Because, for Clan Skryre, progress is not an abstract concept. It is a flame burning in their underground forges, a green flash illuminating their research towers, a spark of madness in their Warlock Engineers. But there is a problem, little one. Oh, there is always a problem. Skryre science is not perfect. Oh, it is powerful, devastating, revolutionary, but it is also unstable. Always on the verge of imploding, always ready to betray its own creator. How many times have you heard of a Skryre weapon working exactly as intended? No, little one. Their creations are never reliable. A warp lightning cannon might vaporize an entire army, or bring down the mountain beneath its own troops. A Doomwheel might crush hundreds of enemies, or suddenly veer off and crash straight into its own warlord's headquarters. And yet, little one, the Skryre never learn. Never. Every failure is just another step forward. If a weapon explodes, they'll build a bigger one. If an experiment goes wrong, they'll just add more warpstone. And the other clans, little one, Oh, the other clans tremble. The Skaven are already paranoid creatures, always suspicious, always ready to betray. But Clan Skryre, oh, they are the true nightmare because they do not just sell weapons, they sell power. And when a Skaven has power, he always wants more. Skaven warlords buy their weapons greedily, hoping to crush their rivals. But little one, what if one day Skryre decided to stop selling? What if, instead of supplying the other clans, they kept all their war machines for themselves? Ah, that is the real fear. That one day Clan Skryre will no longer be a weapon for hire, but the conqueror of the Under Empire. And then there is Ekit Claw. Ah, little one, Ekit Claw is different. He is not just a warlock engineer, not just an inventor. He is a visionary, a genius, a madman without limits. He does not build just to destroy. He wants something greater. Even now, he is one of the most powerful Skaven to have ever lived. But what if he had even more time, more warpstone, more resources? What if he could surpass every failure, every limit? There are whispers, little one, of a weapon that does not just kill, does not just destroy, a weapon that could break the world. And if that day comes, may the gods have mercy on us. Oh, little one, our tale comes to an end, for now. The fire burns low, the storm still rages beyond these walls, but somewhere out there, in the grim darkness of the far future, stories do not rest. And soon, very soon, your Grandpa Grimdarius will be here once more with my dusty tomes and ancient codex in hand, waiting for you, always ready to share the next tale. Farewell, little one.